Hi, we're Jim and Jenna McCaskill.
Hi.
Welcome to week 1 of Marriage 911 God's Way. This is the beginning of section 1, which is Where's Your Focus? Which is very important because very often, whenever we're in crisis, our focus is usually on our spouse and on our problems and not on God and on what we're doing to contribute to it.
So this weekend, your lessons for your homework, we're going to talk about a few tools. Every week in your lesson in the ministry, you're going to get a tool to do. There may be one or two. We encourage you to incorporate those into your time with God and into your life, and to keep using them, to use them forever. These tools are really beneficial. They've really helped us out. We've gone through the program now probably about 8 times, in teaching the class, and we get something new every time we go through it. So we encourage you to really take your time as you go through it and really pray about it and really focus on each one and ask God, how to incorporate it into your life. So the first tool you're going to talk about.
So the first tool is on the 3-month crisis plan, which it's very important that you begin to get in the Word of God, because the Word of God is really what's going to give you the perspective that you need and truth. We have a tendency to be deceived during this time, and we get caught up in all kinds of lies that the enemy would want to throw at us.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to get the Word of God, and Proverbs is a great way to do that, because Proverbs is a book of wisdom, and there's 31 Proverbs, and so you can read a proverb a day for the month. So if you're on the 5th, you can start with Proverbs 5, and if you miss a day, pick up wherever you left off. It's okay. Just keep going. It's a way to start the habit of reading the Word of God every day. It's very important. It's one of the things that we realized going through what we went through, that we were desperate for God. And when you realize how desperate you are for God, then it's really beneficial to you, because you rely on Him instead of your own strength.
And I think it also checks your actions. If you're thinking something that isn't true, and you go through the Word and you go through the wisdom of Proverbs, then you realize, oh, maybe that thought that I'm having isn't exactly correct. And if we're not doing that, then we can get way off base, and we can end up doing things and saying things and going in a direction that really isn't healthy for us. And so we encourage you to do that all throughout your weeks in this ministry. It's really going to be beneficial, and you're really going to grow in the Lord as you do that. And then the second tool, and this one is, we wanted to do this lesson because this one is one of the harder ones for me. And it says that, we have to get our nurture list together. And what they want you to do is to make a list of maybe 20 activities. And you can see on the sheet, it's 15 activities. I couldn't even come up with a few, when I was doing it. And I think for women, once you become a mom, someone used to say, well, what's your favorite color? And at the time, I couldn't even tell them what my favorite color was, because all I was doing was changing diapers and not sleeping. And the thought of actually doing something for myself seemed kind of strange. So when I made my list, I just had a very few things to do. And I have a hard time still incorporating those things into my life every week. But when I do, life is so much nicer, and I'm so much more pleasant, and it really helps to get the focus off the circumstances that you're in right now, and helps you just to kind of put some life back in you. How were you when you were dating? You both had interest and exciting things that you used to do before you were married, and then sometimes we get married, and especially when we have kids, we stop doing all those things that made us interesting and exciting before. So
well, it just makes you healthier. It's one of the things that attracts your mate to you, is the fact that you're taking care of yourself and you're healthier. So it is important, and this is something that actually I struggled with too, coming up with a list. I think I came up with 5. And some of them I don't even do now. When I first came up with it, I think that a lot of it was watching TV or movies, and so your interests may change over the years. I mean, I grew up in Florida. My interest back then was going to the beach and playing frisbee and pick up football games, and at my age now, I'm not doing those things, at least not nearly as much. So now we live, and we're out in our backyard in Tennessee in our little mini farm, and that's my self-interest now, is I love to be out in my backyard and working with our chickens and
bees.
And the bees and things like that. You know, I keep bees. I don't just play with bees, but but you know, things like that. That is what nourishes me and fulfills me, and it makes you, you know, it makes you more attractive. The stipulation on this,
Yes,
because
yes.
some people may take this to an extreme. There are some people that they're constantly nurturing themselves, and they're spending a lot of money, or they're so involved in sports or hanging out with the guys or whatever the case may be, that they're ignoring their family, and that is obviously not
In
what
balance.
we're looking for here. You want to keep this in balance,
The rule
and
is
you don't want to do anything that is illegal, immoral, or expensive. You know, I mean, there's some people that can break the bank on trying to take care of themselves, and then that is detrimental to the family,
into the marriage.
into the marriage.
Right, right.
So,
So we encourage you as you go about this week in answering your questions to incorporate some of these activities during the week. You'll answer your questions in the workbook, and if you don't have a support partner, we encourage you to get one. We find that the people that get support partners, they enjoy the ministry so much more. They get a lot more out of it, and it's really important, and you'll find that you grow so much more if you'll do that part of the ministry. So we encourage you this week. Have a great week. We are praying for you, as well as the rest of the Marriage 911 team, and we really look forward to hopefully hearing from you via the web, by email. We'd love to hear from you. So have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
bye. Thank you.